بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وأصحابه ولا أما بعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We are reciting the first half of the 8 juz. Subhanallah, we're halfway through Ramadan now, huh? And that is our Tarawih schedule. Even though we're not finishing all of the Quran, we're roughly halfway through our recitation as well. So subhanAllah, we ask Allah to accept our half and then give us more tawfiq to do good in the next half. Ameen. In this first half of the 8 juz, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala continues to bring evidences for the people of Quraysh, evidences of different types, evidences that are logical, that we spoke about last time, evidences that encourage a person to look around. For example, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says here that وهو الذي أنشأ جنات معروشات وغير معروشات والنخل والزرع مختلفا أكله والزيتون والرمان متشابها وغير متشابه. The different types of vegetation that grows on the earth. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is highlighting that and pointing to that and saying this is one of the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Before that he had said, Inna Allah faliqul habbi wal nawa. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who splits the seed when it's planted. I was seeing a video actually of a time lapse of seeds that when they're planted, how the seedling comes out of it and how it grows. It is an unbelievable thing, subhanAllah. Very well made video. If you have Twitter, you can search my name and it's one of the videos I posted there. It's a beautiful time lapse. Inna Allah faliqul habbi wal nawa. A great sign of Allah. We have to look for the signs of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In kuntu bi ayatihi mu'mineen. To truly believe in His signs. To truly have that iman that rises up and transcends our difficulties. That comes from, the strength of that comes from studying the evidences in the Quran and also studying the beautiful miraculous signs of Allah outside of the Quran. This passage that we're reciting today has in ayah number 151 and ayah number 152 and 153. These 3 ayat are describing some of the things that are halal and haram. Some of the scholars have dubbed them the 10 commandments of the Quran. You know the 10 commandments, right? That's in the Old Testament and the Torah. So some of the scholars have dubbed these 3 ayat to be like an equivalent version of them. And a similar repetition or a similar version comes in Surah 17, Surah Isra. What are these 10 commandments that Allah mentions here? Very beautiful. He says that قُلْ تَعَالَوْا أَتْلُ مَا حَرَّمَ رَبُّكُمْ عَلَيْكُمْ. Ayah number 151. He says, come, I will recite to you what your Lord has made haram upon you. I here is who? The Prophet ﷺ, right? The Prophet is saying, I will tell you what is haram and what is halal. Alright, what is it? Number 1, أَلَّا تُشْرِكُوا بِهِ شَيْئًا. Number 1 on the list is, you do not associate partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the foundation of our iman, of our deen. That is actually the foundation of all Abrahamic faiths. Thou shalt not worship other than God. That's the first commandment actually. So that is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala references here. Number 2, وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا. And you will treat your parents with excellence. Hard thing to do. But this is what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks of us. And He asks this of us right after commanding that we do not commit shirk with Him. And some of the scholars point out that there's a beautiful subtlety here. That the parents of a person are chosen by Allah. We don't choose our parents. We can choose our spouses. We can choose our friends. But the parents are chosen by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So being good to the parents is, and in a way, showing gratitude to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even if, unfortunately, sometimes parents have not done well by their kids. Alhamdulillah, in our communities, most of the times, the parents go above and beyond. But if you are, interacting with the community, you find cases where the parents have done the children wrong. Even in that circumstance, even in that case, a courtesy and goodness is extended to them because Allah chose them to be our parents. Allah chose their DNA, or our DNA to be from theirs. Allah chose our blood to be the same. So it is not just for their sacrifice, but actually acceptance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's choice and bowing down and humbly accepting it. And of course, if the parents have done good, then al jaza'u ihsani illa ihsan. When someone does good, the reward for that is only good and more. Number 3, وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا أَوْلَادَكُمْ مِنْ إِمْلَاقٍ. Do not kill your children out of poverty, right? You cannot, if a person has a child or is expecting a child, there's a huge abortion debate going on in the United States right now. Islam has a very beautiful position on abortion. But what is consensus, there are times and situations and very, very specific circumstances where it is permissible, according to 3 of the 4 Islamic schools of jurisprudence, very specific circumstances. Everybody agrees, though, that never is poverty a reason to say, I will have an abortion. Never is that the case, that I don't feel that I can take care of this kid, because Allah says, نَحْنُ نَرْزُقُكُمْ وَإِيَّاهُمْ. We will provide for you and provide for them. The responsibility of the providing of the child, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala takes himself. So that's 3. Of course, I don't want to open up the whole debate, or we'll maybe have like a lecture someday to explain the position of Islam on abortion. It's a very beautiful position, if only, people understood. Number 4, وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا الْفَوَاحِشَ مَا ظَهَرَ مِنْهَا وَمَا بَطَنَ. Do not come close to indecency, what is open and apparent, and what is hidden and secret. So any type of thing that is considered indecent, any type of language, any type of actions, they are impermissible, and Allah makes that clear. وَلَا تَقْتُلُوا النَّفْسَ الَّتِي حَرَّمَ اللَّهُ إِلَّا بِالْحَقِّ. Do not kill a person. The sanctity of life. We've spoken about that before. The Quran, as you can see, speaks so much of the sanctity of life. Almost every juz has an ayah or 2 that drives home the point. This is a very big deal in the Sharia. The Prophet ﷺ said that the first thing that will be judged on the Day of Judgment will be ad-dima. What is ad-dima? Blood, right? People who were killed unjustly, they will get their justice first. Subhanallah. Number 6 in that list is وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا مَالَ الْيَتِيمِ إِلَّا بِالَّتِي هِيَ أَحْسَنُ حَتَّى يَبْلُغَ أَشُدَّهُ. Do not come close to the wealth of the orphan until the orphan has become old enough. What is the ayah saying? The ayah is saying, do not exploit an orphan. An orphan is somebody who has lost their father and has inherited a large sum of money, most probably. Now, because the child is small, large sums of money cannot be given to children. They will squander it. So there's a guardian, a relative, that is supposed to take care of that money. SubhanAllah, here is a perfect exploitation situation. The person is a relative, so no one can question their intent, and the child is a little child, has no idea what's happening, and the money is a lot. You see, it's set up where a person who is greedy and wants to take advantage of this little child can most definitely do so. So here the protection of the right specifically of the orphan, but more precisely and more generally of the underprivileged. For those who are easily exploitable, the protection of their rights is very, very much part of the Sharia. In fact, it's the 7th thing that's mentioned here in this list. وَلَا تَقْرَبُوا مَالَ الْيَتِيمِ. Don't even come close to it. Don't even think about exploiting this poor person or this poor child. It is completely unacceptable. Number 8, وَأَوْفُوا الْكَيْلَ وَالْمِيزَانَ بِالْقِسْطِ. Be just, be fair when you're doing business. This example that Allah says is, when you're weighing something, make sure that the weighing is correct. You're not shortchanging people. That is applicable to every aspect of business. Every single aspect of business, when you are providing a service and you're taking money for it, selling a product, taking money for it, whatever you give has to be أَوْفُوا الْكَيْلَ وَالْمِيزَانَ بِالْقِسْطِ, given in its due full right. SubhanAllah, no shortchanging. Number 9 is وَإِذَا قُلْتُمْ فَعْدِلُوا وَلَوْ كَانَ ذَا قُرْبَى. When you speak, say the truth. Be just. Stand up for what's true. How many times have we pointed this out in the last few nights in Tarawih? How many times did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ask us to stand up for the truth and stand up for justice? And how many times you've seen people criticize for not standing up for the truth? Because this is part and parcel of our deen. You have to say what's right. You have to. It's a binding responsibility. And lastly, وَأَنَّ هَذَا صِرَاطِي مُسْتَقِيمًا فَاتَّبِعُوهُ. And this is my way. Who's my? The Prophet ﷺ. This is my way. So follow it. Meaning, my sunnah, my way is what? My sunnah, follow it. Following the sunnah. And that's the 10th thing that Allah mentions here. A very beautiful passage that has a lot to ponder, a lot to think about. Ayah number 151 to 153 of Surah An'am, Surah number 6. So we ask Allah to give us tawfiq to understand the Quran and to implement His teaching. Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam.